I do believe in let's make love instead of let's make war. There's nothing more interesting than sex. And there's nothing more interesting than what people do in their bedrooms.
There's a saying that they always go in threes. So at this point, many of you will know that Richard Simmons has passed away, Dr. Ruth has passed away, and Shannen Doherty has passed away. Shannen was on 90210 back in the 90s. Richard Simmons is a popular fitness guru, and Dr. Ruth was a sex therapist, our sex educator, who talked about the subject for many years. We have a couple of videos. We're going to go through the videos, and then we're going to talk about each of these very interesting people that really, I think, played a large role in the lives of many people. So let's go ahead and continue with Dr. Ruth first, and then we'll start jumping around.
Of course, I read that 50 Shades of Grey. Not great literature, but interesting to read. And here we go. Look at me. I love to dance and to laugh and to talk about sex, but at the same time, I'm a very serious person.
Dr. Ruth Westheimer was the charming German-American sex therapist who revolutionized the way we talk about intimacy.
What we can show is that sex is good. This is my philosophy. Anything that two consenting adults do in the privacy of their bedroom, kitchen, beach, wherever they are, is okay. I always say that sex takes place up here, not between the waist and the knees.
She first stepped into the spotlight in the 80s when she took her popular radio call-in show to TV. That's where she invited celebrity guests to open up about their romantic lives.
Wouldn't your parents love you to be married?
Stop with the marriage! Stop hugging me!
Dr. Ruth, do you think that sex is something that can be discussed on radio?
Yes, absolutely. Not only do I think it can be discussed, I think that it has to be discussed, because one of the things that I certainly believe in is that what we need, not only in this country, across the world, we need some sexual literacy.
1, take it out. 2.
He defined fitness for a generation.
And 1. And 2.
Big hair, short shorts, crystals, studded tank tops, and an irresistible charm.
Come on, this is for you!
Richard Simmons kicked and counted his way to success in an age before Jane Fonda and spin classes. Simmons built an empire on infomercials, workout tapes, and DVDs, and his effervescent appeal. He found fitness after battling obesity for decades.
2.
Many Americans
3.
turned to him, hoping his energy would help them melt off the pounds.
Hey, it's Richard Simmons calling. How are you?
Simmons was so dedicated to his mission against obesity, he spent his later years at home, personally calling people who asked for help.
I don't have to work anymore. This is my passion, and this is my mission.
And even took his crusade for children's physical education to Congress.
I do not want any child in America to have my childhood because it was taken away from me because I just wasn't good enough.
The exercise icon kept teaching aerobics classes into his 60s. He did eventually pull away from the spotlight in 2014 after a knee injury.
No one should feel sorry for Richard Simmons because I think I'm one of the most loved people in the whole world.
Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
The worst day was the confirmation that I had cancer. That was probably the worst day. And again, the worst day because you just look at the people that you love and go, oh, God, I can't believe I have to tell them this, you know?
Shannen was emotional when we sat down with her in 2016. It was after her breast cancer diagnosis, and she was open about everything, all of it. The chemo, the headscarf she wore because of the hair loss, and the newfound appreciation for every single moment.
I'm present and more in the moment than I ever have been in my life. And I'm just thankful and feel blessed that, like, I have today.
Shannen felt especially blessed for her friendship with actress Sarah Michelle Gellar. They sat down for an intimate conversation, Sarah serving as ET's special correspondent.
What's the most important thing that you want people to know about you?
Oh,
I'm gonna throw you a curveball right at it.
I mean, yeah, you definitely just threw one right at me. I don't know. I think that that I'm good. I love it when people say, you know, we're praying for you and everything else, but I'm doing better than okay. I'm doing well. Like, I feel strong and healthy and confident and happy.
And is that why you chose to share your diagnosis?
I mean, the original reason why I chose to share the diagnosis was it was gonna come up anyway, and it is my story. So I wanted to come out with it. But since then, the more that I share, I also want people to not hear stage 4 cancer and think of the person that going into hospice and they can't work, and you get written off so quickly. I'm able to work a 16, 18-hour day.
Shannen was beloved by her fans.
No, I'm not okay. You've turned me into a witch.
Charmed, Heather's 90210.
Brandon, it's not that bad.
Shannen lit up the screen, and in a way, she kind of grew up right in front of us.
If it's not fun for me anymore, then I'm getting out of it.
This was Shannen's first interview with E.T. back in 1982. She was just 11 years old, a child actress who had appeared on Little House on the Prairie.
You gonna go swimming?
She was a teenager when we talked to her in 1988, a young role model, advising other kids to say no to drugs and alcohol.
If I can help one kid, then it'll be all worthwhile. I mean, who wants to be that much out of control? I know in my personal life, I like to be in control of myself at all times.
I was raised to be very, very strong and with a lot of morals and a lot of values.
I did say no. I think it's all because of the way my parents raised me. I think they did a wonderful job, and I think that they instilled those values into me.
Shannen got her big break that same year as part of a mean girl clique in the 80s cult classic, Heathers.
Jealous much?
2 years later, another iconic role, Brenda Walsh on 90210.
I think what'll make the show interesting is that they seem to be concentrating on a family that's moving out here. And then they have these other characters that are coming into it that have all the different pressures of everything else. I think that the show can really skyrocket and give the audience something else to look at besides the same old thing that they're watching every Thursday night. It's all about a teamwork. You know, it's all about this group of people that get together and go, we want this show to be a hit, and we're gonna work hard and stay together to make it a hit.
I mean, guys, it's absolutely incredible seeing some of these the lives of these people. There was Dr. Ruth, and, you know, I could always say, Dr. Ruth was a funny person, but, you know, I think that she was honest. I think she was honest, and she was honest in a way that a lot of women in Western society today struggle, to be honest, and they'll blame others for it. But she really went at it, and, you know, I think that I respect her honesty. I really do respect her honesty, and she kept on pushing that message for years. But she was also a very serious person, and I find that to be something interesting that she pointed out. She was funny, but she was also serious about her work. And then you have Richard Simmons. He made such a massive impact on a lot of people, encouraging them to get up, to get active before we had Ozempic, you know, to push. And he took accountability for everything. He said that this is me. This is my life. You know, I made these decisions. And even he said, I no longer have to work anymore. So this is a passion for him. And I think that's a very, very important thing. You know, you can see something across each of these people as a passion. You know, Dr. Ruth, she had a passion. And it was the passion that she had that kept her going, you know, for so long. She was like 96, I believe, when she passed. 96. Richard Simmons. Honestly, I think he's gone too soon, but his last years of life, he had withdrawn and he had been focusing on himself. I don't know how wonderful those last years were, but you know what? Considering how the world has been over the last 10 years, I say God bless him. He was able to have 9 or 10 peaceful years, you know, supposedly quite peaceful, while the world was you know, in a chaotic state over the last 10 years. He was just chilling. He walked away. Sometimes you just have to know when to walk away. He did his work here on earth. When it comes to Shannen, you know, Shannen, she was an interesting person. And she was very interesting, very debatable. I will say, if I have to say, who do I like more? if I, Shannen Doherty or Tori Spelling, I will always side with Shannen. I'm not a fan of Tori Spelling. I do not really like Tori Spelling at all. I mean, if this had been an announcement like, regarding Tori Spelling, I would have been like, on to the next one, on to the next one. When it came to Shannen, she had been talking about this for so many years, but the thing is, it's like it just felt like she seemed stronger, so much stronger than her diagnosis, because she was like just talking to us, and she was just like, it was like, is this for real? She seems so strong. She looks so good. And she said it. She said that, she wants people to know that she can still work. She can still work those 16-hour days. And I think that was the most impressive thing versus someone like Christina Applegate, who I respected as Kelly Bundy, but I don't respect her MS. I don't respect her behavior with MS. Like, it feels like she's just thrown in the towel. She's talking about what's happening in the morning. Like she woke up in the morning, and she in her own poop. And it's like, you don't have to tell the world that, or, she's like, she has lesions on her brain. That's something common with MS. And many of you reached out to me and you said, Agri, I've had MS for like the last 7 years, right? And I'm a technician, or I'm a contractor, or and I have children that I have to take care of, and all of these different things, and this is like, and it's just something that's I've been living with it for years. Oh well, I've got, I'm a grown man, and I've got things to do. I've got family to take care of. I've got myself to take care of. And that's just the reality of it. You do what you have to do. And I feel like I respect these people. Despite her diagnosis, I respect the fact that Shannen just kept on going. I respect that she just kept on going, and she pushed through it. She pushed through it for so many years. Richard, he grinded, he helped so many people, and he knew when to walk the heck away. You have to know when to walk away. And Dr. Ruth, she kept it going her entire life. I mean, this little old lady, she was on her mission, but at the same time, she was respectful, and she looks like a lady compared to the way that a lot of, her counterparts behave in modern day society. So they always say they go in threes, and we also know what almost happened, on that same day with regarding President Trump, but thank God he's with us. But it's just unbelievable that, these three, they all went roughly around the same time, So this is crazy, but that's just a reminder of how life is, that life is short. And there was someone I knew once that told me, he said, don't take this life too serious. And it's more so like, you can't always control what happens in life. The only thing you can really do is control how you respond to it, which is the reason why stoicism, especially for men, is so damn important. So I think that's something that we all need to practice and remember, and live your life, do what you can within reason, because if life, it's about a pursuit within life. It's about a pursuit of happiness. We all want to be happy, but to find happiness, we often have to find purpose, and to find purpose, we're often trying to find, well, what's our passion? A passion can, our purpose can become our passion. That's often what happens in life, because sometimes there are things that we're passionate about, but those things they're not really fit for us, fit for our purpose. There's a person who might be passionate about medicine. However, they cannot work in medicine for the rest of their lives. They're just not physically able to do it. And they can see that even though they are passionate about it, it cannot be their purpose. But let's say they learn how to cook, and they begin developing these skills even later on in life. And then they get in shape, and they begin inspiring others, and they, teaching others how to cook. And that purpose, they find purpose in that. And from that purpose, they develop a passion. And that purpose then becomes their passion. And I think that that's something that all of us can learn from. It may not always be what we want. Our passion may not always be what we want it to be, but sometimes it can be what we need it to be. It may, there's a saying that, our passions, we don't always choose our passions. Our passions choose us, or more so, our purpose chooses us, And I think that's really, really true. It's like something you see in public service. You know, like sometimes you'll say, well, I didn't choose this. It chose me. You know, I was put, like, you know, there were people who needed me, and I was there, and I was the right person for the job, and I'm still the right person for the job. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying the content, consider checking out my newsletter. It's a weekly newsletter. It's pretty awesome. You'll get my personal thoughts and insights. You can find a link in the description if you'd like to go ahead and subscribe to that newsletter. And also, come and join the Angry Guy community on Locals. There's a link to it in the description of the video. You can find us at angrygalaxy.com for access to exclusive content or just to support the channel. So check that out. It's linked in the description. Guys, they always go in threes. What do you think regarding the passing of these three people and just passings in general? And do you agree that it's so important that we live and enjoy our lives within reason as best as we can and find purpose within our lives or meaning in our lives? It doesn't mean going out and marrying or having children, if that's what you want to do, or even or traveling to the ends of the earth, but finding something in life that gives us purpose, and through that we may find meaning, and in that meaning we may even find happiness. Let me know your thoughts and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, share the video, and just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away, and cheers.